Airports are usually predictable places. Long lines, tired faces, the constant shuffle of luggage wheels echoing across polished floors. But every once in a while, something completely unexpected happens. Something so small, yet so intriguing, that it captures everyone's attention and sparks endless curiosity. This was one of those moments. It started like any other arrival. A group of young men walked through the terminal, blending into the crowd of travelers. Nothing unusual at first glance. Casual outfits, backpacks slung over shoulders, the kind of scene you'd normally ignore. But then, in a split second, everything changed. One of them suddenly raised a blue cap and used it to completely cover another person's face. Yes, just like that. No warning, no hesitation, just a quick, deliberate motion that instantly shifted the energy in the room. A split second that sparked thousands of questions. Why would someone do that? Was it a joke, a reflex, or was there something more going on beneath the surface? The person whose face was being covered didn't react dramatically. No visible struggle, no clear protest. Instead, there was a calmness, almost as if this wasn't the first time something like this had happened. Meanwhile, the friend holding the cap seemed focused, intentional, and oddly protective. And then there was the third person, the one standing close by, watching the entire thing unfold. Their expression? Subtle, but unmistakably curious. A slight tilt of the head, a glance that seemed to ask the same question everyone else was thinking. What just happened? The internet does what it does best. Within hours, the moment was everywhere. Clips and screenshots began circulating across social media platforms. People zoomed in, analyzed expressions, debated body language, and built entire theories from just a few seconds of footage. Some viewers were convinced it was a spontaneous act, maybe a playful attempt to avoid attention. Others believed it was something more calculated, suggesting that the person didn't want to be recognized. And then came the more dramatic theories. Was he hiding from someone? Did something happen just before this? Why did his friend react so quickly? The speculation spread like wildfire. The power of small moments. What makes the situation so fascinating isn't just the action itself, it's how ordinary it looks, yet how mysterious it feels. There were no loud arguments, no dramatic chase, no obvious signs of conflict. Just a cap, a face, and a gesture that lasted only a few seconds. But sometimes, it's those small, subtle moments that leave the biggest impact, because they don't give you answers, they give you questions. And people love questions. Body language never lies, or does it? If you look closely, every person in the scene tells a different story. The one holding the cap? Focused. Quick. Almost instinctive. The one being covered? Relaxed, composed, not resisting. And the observer? Curious, maybe slightly amused, but definitely engaged. Body language experts often say that our actions reveal more than our words ever could. But in this case, the signals are mixed, conflicting even. Was it protection, privacy, or simply timing? A protective gesture, or something else? One of the most popular interpretations is that the friend was trying to shield the other person from cameras. In today's world, where every move can be recorded and shared within seconds, that kind of instinct isn't unusual. Some people prefer to stay out of the spotlight. Others are simply caught off guard and react in whatever way feels natural. But here's the twist. The movement didn't feel panicked. It felt controlled. Almost like it had been done before. The observer's reaction says everything. While most eyes are drawn to the person holding the cap, there's another detail that many viewers can't ignore. The reaction of the person standing beside them. They weren't shocked. They weren't confused. They were watching, carefully. That subtle reaction has sparked an entirely different set of theories. Some believe they already knew what was happening. Others think they were simply trying to understand it in real time. Either way, their presence adds another layer to the mystery. When seconds turn into stories, it's incredible how a moment that lasts less than 5 seconds can turn into hours of discussion. People replay it, slow it down, zoom in, rewatch it again. Every frame becomes a clue. Every expression becomes a hint. And yet, no one really knows the full story. Why we can't stop watching? There's something deeply human about moments like this. We're wired to notice the unusual, to pause when something doesn't quite make sense. It's the same reason we stare at unexpected scenes or replay strange interactions in our minds. We want closure. We want answers. But sometimes, the mystery is the point. The line between reality and interpretation. One of the biggest challenges with viral moments is how quickly they blur the line between what actually happened and what people think happened. A simple action becomes layered with assumptions. A neutral expression becomes emotional. A quiet moment becomes dramatic. And before you know it, the original scene is almost unrecognizable beneath all the interpretations. So, what really happened? Here's the truth. We don't know. And maybe that's why this moment has captured so much attention. Because in a world full of explanations, this is one of the rare instances where we're left with uncertainty. No official statement, no clear context, no definitive answer. Just a fleeting moment that continues to spark curiosity. The beauty of the unanswered. Not every story needs a conclusion. Sometimes, the most powerful moments are the ones that leave us thinking long after they're over. This was one of those moments. A simple gesture, a hidden face, and a mystery that refuses to fade. Final thought. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was everything. But one thing is certain, people won't stop talking about it anytime soon. And honestly, that might be the most interesting part of all, when silence speaks louder than words. As more people revisited the footage, a new perspective began to emerge, one that focused not on the action itself, but on what wasn't happening. There were no words exchanged, no visible urgency, no chaos, just silence. And somehow, that silence made everything feel even louder. In a crowded place like an airport, silence is rare. There's always noise, announcements, conversations, footsteps. But in that specific moment, all of it seemed to fade into the background. What remained was a quiet interaction that carried an unusual weight. It's the kind of silence that makes people lean in closer, the kind that invites interpretation. The details people almost missed. As the clip continued to circulate, eagle-eyed viewers began pointing out smaller details, things that weren't obvious at first glance. The grip on the cap, firm but not aggressive. The angle, precise, as if meant to block a specific line of sight. The timing, immediate, almost instinctive. And then there was the posture of the person being covered. No flinch, no step back, no attempt to remove the cap. Instead, there was a subtle stillness, as if they trusted the person doing it. That single detail shifted the narrative for many viewers. Maybe this wasn't about hiding. Maybe it was about trust. A moment of understanding? Some interpretations took a softer turn. What if this wasn't something dramatic at all? What if it was simply a shared understanding between friends? Think about it. How often do people develop unspoken signals? Small gestures that carry meaning without needing explanation? A look, a nod, a quick action that says, "I've got you." In that context, the moment feels less mysterious and more human. But then, why the attention? If it was something so simple, why did it capture so much attention? The answer lies in visibility. In everyday life, moments like this happen all the time. People protect each other, help each other, respond instinctively to situations. But most of those moments go unnoticed. This one didn't.